So this week's topic was, what do you do when your business isn't making money? Such a big topic that we're dividing it into two parts. Part one this week is the business revenue strategy. There's 4 pillars, and that's what we covered this week. Next week we get into the faith and purpose strategy, and there's 10 big things in there that are super important if you want God's help. So on to this week. If you have a business, whether you're a brand new entrepreneur or you've been an entrepreneur for years and all of a sudden things have just stopped and you're kind of in a panic, I want to give you 2 scriptures first that will bring you a lot of comfort. The first one is Deuteronomy 31:6, and it says, "Be strong and courageous, do not be afraid or tremble in dread before them, for it is the Lord your God who is with you and who goes with you. He will not fail you or abandon you." And that is so comforting when you're climbing this entrepreneurial mountain and you think, oh my God, did you bring me this far just to drop me, God? No, he's going to see you all the way through. Here's another scripture I love that brings me a lot of comfort, and it's Proverbs 16:3, and it says, "Commit your works to the Lord." That means submit them and trust them to him, and your plans will succeed. If you respond to his will and his guidance, your plans will succeed. That's so important. So if you're a continuous learner, your business isn't making money, there's really 4 things in business that you have to get really good at. We're going to go into them. And then there's 10 faith and purpose things that we're going to cover next week. A lot of people think, well, maybe I should quit my business. It's not making money. I've been at it for 1 year, year and a half. We've heard people say 3 years, Go ahead and quit, but don't quit your business. Instead, quit doing the things that aren't working, and that's most important. So the top 3 reasons why businesses fail is 1, they simply run out of cash. Why? Because of reason number 2, they have bad product market fit, which simply means the market isn't buying what you're selling the way that you're selling it. So there's something broken in your model, which brings us to number 3. The third reason is, well, many founders and CEOs and entrepreneurs have a business plan. Like a golf swing, they have one where the ball's not going where you want it to go. So, yep, maybe you have a plan, but it's one that doesn't work. So, you have to be willing to change your TDR. TDR stands for think, do, results. We all have a way of thinking, good or bad. It produces a way of doing good or bad, and that produces our results. So anytime when we're not getting the result we want, we're not getting the fruit on our tree, we have to be willing to change the thinking. After all, whatever the root is, the fruit is. So if we don't like the fruit, we got to go check the root. That's our thinking. So you ready? Here's the 4 business pillars. It's all around a customer acquisition system. That's the final goal. The first thing, the place to start, is you really got to go develop a 5-year work-life destination. So you have to have a written plan for what you want out of life in your business and in your personal life. This is covering all the details from your business revenue, your personal finances, your health, your relationships, your purpose, and your faith. All of these are going to consume time, energy, and focus. But more importantly, it's going to take money. It's going to take money to achieve your goals. For instance, if you're renting and you want to own, it's going to cost of that home. Maybe you don't want debt, so you want to be able to write a check. Maybe you're in debt and you want to eliminate debt. Whatever the cost is, you have to have a total. I look out 5 years and I come up with a grand total. Number 2, you have to have a strong process for vetting your business model. And so even though many business people and entrepreneurs have their business plans in writing, most would not pass the scrutiny of an accelerator like ours or venture capital. If you're looking for funding, you're meeting with venture capitalists. They really know how to vet and scrutinize. We're kind of a Shark Tank vetting system. If you've ever watched the show, notice how they can pick apart a plan. They can just sense, they can pick apart what's wrong with the plan. And I've always been able to do that. If I were to meet with you and you were to share your business model, it's pretty easy for me to see why it's not working. Now, the fix is a little bit more complicated, but most people don't have a vetting system. They don't understand what's required to have a good business model. Your business model should produce enough revenue so that you could have everything you want in your work-life planning. That's the step before. So you have to know what you want. You have to have a system to vet your business model and your brand. And then you have to develop a robust digital ecosystem around buyer journey. The things that change in business is the landscape. The landscape is constantly changing. If you don't change with it, you get left behind. It's changes in technology which produce changes in buyer journey, the way people want to buy. And so there's 7 stages of buyer journey. First, awareness, how your future customers, how I've heard of you. Understanding, I know what you do. Interests, the result you promise will help me. People are interested when they believe that the product or service that you offer will help them reach their goals. They respect you. They see you as credible. They trust you. You have their best interest at heart. Budget. They have the buy-in on how much it's going to cost because they have the resources to buy. And finally, the timing they're ready to buy. See, between your website and your content strategy, which is going to be, your website's where you host it, your content strategy is going to be where they're at. Probably on social media. It's going to be digital. And 80% of that buyer journey happens online. So you've got to be able to know, okay, if this is my segment, these are the fish I'm going after, how can I guarantee that they're going to become aware of who I am? That they're going to be interested, that I'm going to influence and educate them. 80% of this happens online, most of it before you ever talk to them. So it's so important that to understand what are the components of a digital ecosystem. Once you know what you want out of life, you have a way of developing and vetting a brand, business model and brand, and you understand digital. You've learned how to win with digital. Then the fourth thing is you have to put it all together and build a customer acquisition system. These are all the things that you have to have in place to be able to create leads, to nurture those leads, to build a apparatus, a sales process, a marketing and sales process around buyer journey. Those 4 things have to be in place. This is what people get wrong. They don't understand what has to be in there. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, hang around the community, all of our topics are around entrepreneurial and faith success. If you're not a do-it-yourselfer, then take a look at the Accelerator. It's a 12-week full-stack entrepreneur program where we hold your hand and guide you all the way through. It's all online. It's part on-demand, online live, lots of group mentoring sessions and one-on-one mentoring sessions with myself. So that's the topic that we cover this week. Take a look at the Table Talks. That's the group conversation that we have. And share your input. Shoot me questions if you have questions about this. If you're kind of concerned about your model, reach out to me. My email address is gduran@cana.global. Shoot me an email. I'll make some time on my calendar, and together we'll go through it. In advance, I'll send you some of the tools, maybe Lean Canvas, Lean Business Canvas, a PDF with Buyer Journey, and then I'll probably send you 20 scriptures that I look at as an entrepreneur that really pave the way for my success. There are about 20 promises, biblical promises that I look at almost every single day. So I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to rest and relax this weekend. Enjoy your friends and family, and I'll see you next week in CanaGlobal's online community.